And the title of the class is Desire Never Brings Peace.
They don't want you seeing this, but they can't hide it from you much longer.
The following is a class on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 3, Text number 10, given by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on May 28, 1972 in Los Angeles.
What is the time now?
7:07.
Huh?
7 minutes past 7.
So make it correct. Give where is comes. Who has made the Charnamrita? Huh? Who has made Charnamrita?
She's not here.
Who is he? Who is she? I want to know.
She's the power of Lava Kitchen. Hare Krishna, Hare
You have no responsibility. You have added salt instead of sugar. Why? No, you should not make any more. One responsible should make it. Somebody will give him charge. This is great mistake. Hare Krishna. Hari Spadavana. Chant.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Verse number 10, page 134. Akamaha. Sarvakamo.
Sarvakama. Mokshakama. Udaradhi. Tibrena. Bhakti Yogena. Ajeta. Purusham. Param. Akamat sarvakamoba. Mokshakama udaradhi. Tibrena bhakti yogena. Yajeta purusham param. Akamat sarvakamoba. Mokshakama udaradhi. Tibrena bhakti yogena. Jajeta purusham param. Akama sarvakamova. Mokshakama udaradhi. Tibrena bhakti yogena. Jajeta purusham param. Next. Akama sarvakamova. Mokshakama udaradhi. Tibrena bhakti yogena. Jajeta purusham param. Akama sarvakamova. Mokshakama udaradhi. Tibrena bhakti yogena. Jajeta purusham param. Moksha Kama Udaradhi
Tivrena Bhakti Yogena
Tivrena Bhakti Yogena
Jeta Purusham Param
Jajeta Purusam Param
Kama sarva kamo ba.
Akama Sarva Kamo Va
Moksha kama udaradi.
Moksha Kama Udaradhi
Jivrena bhakti yogena.
Tivrena Bhakti Yogena
Yajeta purusham param.
Jajeta Purusam Param Akama Sarva Kamo Va Moksha Kama Udaradhi Tivrena Bhakti Yogena Yajeta Purusam Param Akama Sarva Kamo Va Moksha Kama Udaradhi Tivrena Bhakti Yogena Yajeta Purusam Param. Very good. Go on.
Akama Sarva Kama Va
Akama Sarva Kamo Va
Moksha Kama Udaradi
Moksha Kama Udaradhi
Tivrena Bhakti Yogena
Tivrena Bhakti Yogena
Yajeta Purusham Param
Yajeta Purusam Param
Kama Sarva Kama Va
Akama Sarva Kamo Va
Moksha Kama Udaradi
Moksha Kama Udaradhi
Tivrena Bhakti Yogena
Tivrena Bhakti Yogena
Jeta Purusham Param
Yajeta Purusam Param
Kama Sarva Kama Va
Akama Sarva Kamo Va
Moksha Kama Udaradi
Moksha Kama Udaradhi
Tivrena Bhakti Yogena
Tivrena Bhakti Yogena
Yajeta Purusham Param
Yajeta Purusam Param
Akama Sarva Kama Vi
Akama Sarva Kamo Va
Moksha Kama Udaradi
Moksha Kama Udaradhi
Tivrena Bhakti Yogena
Tivrena Bhakti Yogena
Yajeta Purusham Param
Yajeta Purusam Param. That's all. Now, what meaning?
One who has transcended all material desires. One who has transcended all material desires.
Sarva Kama
One who has the sum total of material desires. One who has the sum total of material desires.
Ma
Moksha.
Kama
One who desires liberation.
One who desires liberation.
Udaradi.
Udaradhi
With broader intelligence.
Border intelligence
Tivrena.
Tivrena
With great force.
With great force.
Bhakti Yogena
By devotional service of the Lord.
by devotional service of the Lord. Yajeta
Should worship.
worship
Purusham.
Purusam
The Lord.
the Lord. Param
Supreme whole.
Supreme whole.
Translation. A person who has broader intelligence, who may be full of all material desire, or may be without any material desire, and who also desires liberation, by all means must worship the Supreme Whole Personality of Godhead.
So, this is our conclusion. There are three classes of men. Human being, not with hands and legs. Actually, human being, those who know what is the purpose of life. The purpose of life, the first basic principle of our life is that we have come here in this material world for becoming master, lording it over the material nature. Although we cannot do it, that is our desire. They are called sarvakama. There is no limit of desires. Anyone, you find out ordinarily in this world, you ask him, what is your ultimate desire? There is no limit. Therefore says sarvakama. Pralayantu upasitam. Till the time of death, there is desire. A dying man, he is also desired. I have seen it practically. One gentleman in Allahabad, he was contemporary of our age. He was dying at the age of 54 years, and he was crying, and he was requesting the doctor. He was a very rich man. My dear doctor, can you not give me at least 4 years life? So I could finish my program. The nonsense, what is your program? You see? I've seen it. Don't move leg like that. So, therefore they are called sarvakama. There is no end. He does not know he is going to die, and he thinks that doctor can prolong his life. Is it possible to prolong life? Not for a second even. When you are destined to die, you must die. Mrityu sarva harascha ham. This death is Krishna. He cannot defy Krishna. That is not possible. Krishna says, Mrityu aham. Sarva harascha. Just like Prahlad Maharaj's father. He was so proud and he was confident. Now I have taken benediction from Brahma. I live forever. So he was very much proud. Just like the Kurmis, they also think, when there will be disease and there will be point of death, I shall take care very nicely. There are so many good physicians, I shall call them and they will give me life. So this is demonic. You cannot protect yourself by so-called science, physician or power. It is not possible. Because the death is Krishna. Ravan, Hiranyakashipu, all many demons, they thought it that we shall live forever. So anyone who is thinking like that, he is a demon. He cannot stop death. Mrityu sarva harascha aham. Krishna. If you don't give to Krishna, then Krishna will appear just like Nishingadev, and he will take away everything from you and kill you. That's all. Now who can challenge? Who is that? Who can challenge Krishna? No, nobody can. That is Krishna. So, the sarvakama, so up to the end of life, all these politicians, we have seen Gandhi in our country, Jawaharlal Nehru, he was attacked, heart attack, several times, and doctor said, within a week, he'll have to go away. Still, he was going to the hillside to recoup his health. And when he was on the point of death, he was brought to New Delhi and died. So up to the point of death, he was thinking that I must remain a prime minister, otherwise the whole thing will be lost. In my absence, if I am not on the seat, then everything will be lost. This is Maya. Gandhi was thinking like that. He agitated this political movement against the British rule. The Britishers went away. I requested him that now you have got Swaraj and you are so respectable in the world. You take this propaganda to preach Bhagavad Gita. No. You still stick to this politics. Unless you are skilled. You are skilled, you know. So this is the propensity, sarvakama. There is no end of their desires. No end. They are called sarvakama. So here it is recommended. Akama, just the opposite. Akama, niskinchan. They have finished all this nonsense. Material leaders. Vaishnava. Just like you have taken sannyas, it is supposed that you have finished all your material leaders. This is called akama. Just the opposite. And the other side, sarvakama. There is no end of desire, material desires. So, Vasudev recommends, all right, you may be sakama. Sakama means without end of any desires, full of desires. And between these, there is another mokshakama. So, sakama, sarvakama, kurmis. Those who are working very hard, that's like animals. Animals are meant for working hard. But now, men are being educated to work like animals. Animals. There is no end. So they are called karmis. Therefore, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has designated these animals, these karmi animals, who are working very, very hard, just like hogs and dogs. They have been described in the Bhagavad Gita as murha. Murha, rascal, foolish. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has explained why they are murha. This means they want some eating, sleeping, mating. But why so much hard work? Now eating, sleeping, mating, they just see the birds, they are free. They don't work at night at least. But human being, day and night. Night also, night duty. I shall get some more money. So there is no end. How they can be happy? They are simply thinking of that I shall work very hard and I shall get money and enjoy my senses. So where is the question of happiness? The karmis cannot have happiness because their method is to work hard. How they can be happy? Similarly, Gary's mokshakama, after being disgusted that I worked so hard throughout my whole life, I could not get peace. Therefore, it is false. Jagat mithya.
Hare Krishna. I don't know what that means. Anand Vihari, are we going to recount what Prabhupada says? We're just going to listen to class. It's okay with me either way. Who is deciding? All right, let's go. What did Srila Prabhupada say so far? Who remembers where he started?
Where he started was with some chastisements. of whoever made the Chamrita didn't do. They added something that Srila Prabhupada didn't like, and he said you should not make. So it started with Srila Prabhupada giving some chastisement, and he said something about if you're going to be responsible, be responsible. So I thought that was very interesting. And then another part, when he's talking, he also was, we heard him be kind of stern when he says, "Don't sit like that." And then they did the beautiful chanting, but he began really in the bulk of it was talking about the Sarvakama. And he was saying that we come to this world to master things. And so then we become full of these material desires, chasing, but we'll never be happy. And then he went on a bit about that chasing, but you can't stall off. Like Ramakashipu tried to, and he said this twice. He said, "Death is Krishna, and you cannot defy Krishna," and other things, but I'll let others speak.
He also spoke about the dying man, and he said, "Doctor, can you please just give me a little bit more longer to live so he could finish his material desires of finishing his program?" I do have two questions, though. The chastisement in the beginning, when that was happening, my heart sank, because if that was me, my heart would be sinking. And I just really, because like, how do we understand that? I guess is my question with that. Like, how should we understand that chastisement? And my other question is, so he was saying about like we shouldn't extend, when it's your time to go, it's your time to go. So does that mean that we don't take like medicines or like something that could possibly prolong our illness, or how can we understand that also? Thank you.
So the first one is about, do you know what is Charanamrita? Do you know what is Charanamrita? After bathing the deity, they save some water and they add sugar, and it's very sweet. It's take a few drops. Everybody takes a few drops of the remnants of the bathing, and someone added salt instead of sugar, so it was a very bitter taste. And Srila Prabhupada, seeing every detail, said, "No, this must be done nicely. Meant to be attractive, and if you take this service, it must be done properly, otherwise." And of course, we accept the chastisement of the spiritual master as his care for us. He's trying to help us to be good devotees, and please Krishna. So we welcome that. Of course, it's devastating to be chastised in front of the other devotees and everything. But Prabhupada's business is to help us to serve Krishna and please the Lord. And the other thing about we accept, Rupa Goswami explains, we accept what is favorable for devotional service and we reject what is unfavorable. We maintain the body for the sake of serving Krishna, but we accept the fact that there is a beginning and an end to the material body. So this person who Prabhupada was talking about, he said to the physician, "Give me 4 more years." Prabhupada said, "That is demoniac to think that I will live forever." It's demoniac to think, like Hiranyakasipu, that I will live forever. No. Mritya sarva haraschaham. Krishna says, "I am all-devouring death." So we welcome the life in Krishna consciousness, and we welcome the death. There's a wonderful prayer by St. Francis like that. "And even you, blessed death, coming to hush my final breath." I see this as also part of Krishna's arrangement. I do not reject the fact that the life will end at one point. So we maintain it as long as possible so that we can serve Krishna, And then when death comes, we welcome that as Krishna's loving hand. Does that answer the question?
That does, and I really liked what you said about with the chastisement. Prabhupada wasn't saying that to demean her. He was doing it in loving service to her for her ultimate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what it's hard because in the material world, when we're chastised by certain people, it could be very demeaning and not for our highest good. But that's the difference, with a spiritual master. Founding Acharya is completely different from an ordinary human being chastising somebody.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a
We used to call it the mercy, the nectar, the sauce, but it's always sweet sauce that he gives you because Prabhupada noted at her like a father would note a daughter and gave her an instruction that she'll always remember for the rest of her life. And that instruction to pay attention and be responsible is such an important instruction. And when coming from the lips of Prabhupada, just to her, at that moment, he was paying attention to her, and that is gold. That's gold. And so don't be heart-fallen when a beloved spiritual master chastises you. It's as Adi Purush said, it shows he cares. Hare Krishna.
yeah. Thank you. Bhakti, I see you have your hand up.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Prabhupada also mentioned about Gandhi, and for me, I always thought Gandhi was a very he did very much good for people and so on and so on. But in this case, it seems that even he didn't do it in the Krishna conscious way. Even though that he did very much good for humanity in India, still he didn't do it in the way of he didn't do it in Krishna consciousness. He thought that he's going to still make things happen. He thought everything was depending on him, not on Krishna. Thank you.
Gandhi was offering a political solution, and Srila Prabhupada wrote to him and said, okay, now you have Swaraj, now India is independent. Now please preach Bhagavad Gita, because that is the actual solution. There's no material solution. No matter how you rearrange the furniture on the deck of the Titanic, get another pillow, get a bigger drink. No, we must get off this boat. We must realize that there's a spiritual solution. Devotional service to Krishna is the life of the soul, and it'll solve the real problems. Gandhi did not respond to that appeal Srila Prabhupada made to him. Okay, anything else Srila Prabhupada said? Bhaktisiddhanta Srila Prabhupada's spiritual master spoke to him and said, this political endeavor is not necessary. It doesn't matter who's in power. They're fighting over who's holding the wheel on the sinking ship. The real solution is devotional service to Krishna. And that is the message that his spiritual master asked him to broadcast. Okay, let's go, Mike. Let's see what else we have here. We don't have a whole lot of time.
Mithya means false. This is Shankaracharya philosophy. Jagat mithya. Mithya means false. Brahma sat. Now let me search out where is Brahma and become one with him. That is also another labor. Speculating, they have to interpret all these Vedic literature to make God dead, void, impersonal, nullified. So they have to gather their arguments, and that is another labor, hard labor. So they are also working hard. Yogis, they want to show some magic. I can walk on the water. I can fly in the air without any airship. I can go this planet, that planet. Yogis can do that. They have got this magical power. I can create immediately gold. And if you can show this magical fish, immediately you get so many. But that kind of yogi also very rare to be found. And now in your country, yogi means who can show some gymnastics, that's all. So they are also working hard. Because they have got karma. The yogi, he wants to be very popular by showing magic. Because general people, they cannot walk on the water. But if somebody can walk on the water, millions of people immediately go to the Pacific Ocean to see. So therefore they want siddhi. Actually, there are yogis in Siddha law. Without any flying machine, they can go from one planet to another. Durvasa Muni, he went. Within a year, he came back. He went to Vaikuntha planet. Yogi, great yogi. He saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. But he was not excused. He went to beg pardon so that he may be saved from the Sudarshan Chakra. She went to Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and all big, big demigods. Please save me. The Sudarshan Chakra is after me. So everyone said, we are unable to do anything. You can go to Lord Vishnu. So he went to Lord Vishnu, he saw him, he talked with him. And Lord Vishnu also said, I cannot do anything. You must go to Ambarish Maharaj and fall down on his feet and beg his pardon. Then you can be saved.
And Krishna continues.
So this is the position. And Ambarish Maharaj was...
Okay, we're running short on time. Can somebody repeat what Srila Prabhupada just taught us?
That nothing else is matter than to be the Krishna conscious and to do devotional service by association with devotees and so on. And he gave example about yogis who do many magical things, but it's not the same as you are Krishna conscious and serve Krishna and not doing magical things or gymnastic things as they do today.
Yeah, by cheap tricks, they will get cheap followers, many, because of some simple manipulation of subtle or gross material energy. One point he made just now, which was really important, Durvasa Muni made a fence. He was a very powerful yogi. He could even go to the spiritual world, even see Krishna face to face. He made an offense to Maharaj Ambarish. We make an offense to a devotee, that is like the big elephant offense. That is the big destroyer of the garden of the Bhakti-Lata creeper. So he went to many different personalities trying to get protection because the Sudarshan Chakra was chasing him. But Krishna himself, Lord Vishnu told him, the only way, if you haven't offended a devotee, you must go back to that devotee who you offended and apologize to them. And Maharaj Ambarish was so kind, even though this Durvasa Muni created a demon to kill Ambarish Maharaj. Even though he attacked him lethally, Maharaj Ambarish did not take any offense. Prabhupada said, if I offend you, if someone offends you, that's their ignorance. But if you take it as an offense, that's your ignorance. So we must be allowed, to resolve this. The way to resolve this is to go back to the person we've offended and appeal to them for forgiveness. And then when they forgive you, then you are relieved of the disastrous effect of offending a devotee. So the devotees are very merciful.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So Srila Prabhupada was mentioning in class how some people these days are working too hard, like animals. And in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there's this example where it says that animals don't have to go to work, and yet their loving Father Krishna is supplying everything they need. Like elephants, they don't go to work, but somehow or other Krishna supplies them with 400 kilograms of food every day, or something like that. So, and sometimes we as devotees understand those statements where, devotees shouldn't work and take them too far. And then we don't go to work, then we end up without a place to stay. Nobody wants to marry us, and we start thinking, why is Krishna consciousness society not supporting me? Well, I'm a Brahmana, where are my Vaishyas? What's wrong? And then we become bitter and twisted and hateful. So, how do we understand those statements? How much should we work? And so we don't work like animals, but on the other hand, we don't want to become bitter and useless and unfortunate.
Very, very, very good question. Thank you for the question. Of course, Srila Prabhupada is encouraging us to work hard, but we don't work hard for our maintenance. We're not seeking pleasure or avoiding pain. We want to do God's will come what may. Krishna says to Arjuna, fight for me. Abandon all desire for your gain and safety, and fight for me. So we are attached to the endeavor, but we're not attached to the result. If we are bitter, that's our choice. We will accept whatever Krishna sends, feast or famine. We will peacefully understand that the Lord's hand is here in this adversity or this opulence, but we don't endeavor for material happiness. We endeavor to please Krishna. Prabhupada said we're working twice as hard as an ordinary person, but it's not a selfish endeavor. This is love. We want love means love wants to give all. We want to give a good effort in devotional service. Does that answer your question?
Yes, so there must be effort and hard work for Krishna.
We're purchasing that, we're considering that church in Canada, Toronto, I think, and they said, Prabhupada, this is a wonderful church, and they said, well, how much is it? They went to see it, and they said, very good. He said, but how much is it? And they said, oh, I forget the price. I'll just take, it was a 500,000. In those days, that was a lot of money. And Prabhupada said, oh, if we did that, we'd have to work so hard. Oh, that would be so hard, So they said, yeah. And then Prabhupada, a few days later, he said, so how much was that? They said, 500,000, Prabhupada. We'd have to work so hard. And Prabhupada said, there must be hard work. You want to just sit around the temple and get fat? He pounded the table. He said, don't be ridiculous. Of course there's hard work. But, he tricked them into, he could see that their mentality was, why should we work so hard? But for Krishna, it's appropriate. Tapo divyam putraka yena sattvam shudyat. In the human form of life, it is appropriate to voluntarily accept austerity in the service of the Lord for the purification of our existence. It's appropriate to accept austerity. Austerity means difficult, yeah? Sacrifice. But not selfish. Is that clear?
Yes, thank you, Adipusha Prabhu. I think Anupam had his hand up. Yeah, Prabhupada always worked. He had a business, pharmacy business, and then he was always preaching, always on the move, always starting things up. He was never idle. Anupam Prabhu?
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, one thing, I guess it's 8 o'clock now. Are we still okay? Or should we do it for after? Go ahead.
temple room.
Try.
Okay. One thing that always kind of bothered me, or I didn't fully understand, was at the beginning of the Bhagavatam, when there's the bull Dharma, and there's the personification of Kali, and the personification like chops off his legs, and then Parikshit Maharaj goes and asks him, "Who's done this to you?" And he says, "Oh, I can't say who's done it to me, because then I'll become liable for the offense." But is that the right mentality? If somebody's hurting people, if someone hurts you and they're going to hurt other people, are you not supposed to say anything? I don't, like, to me that seems sentimental somehow, but it might be my opinions.
Bima is answering that one.
How'd
Yeah.
you know? How'd you know? If it's you, you deserve it. If it's other people, jump in. Especially if it's an innocent. And we got plenty of that going on.
This is the Kurukshetra Conch, right? Hare Krishna Prabhu, you're the best.
Did somebody pin it?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Jai Shri Shri Muladhar. We are inside of Adipusha Prabhu's apron. Okay. Jai, would anyone like to add anything? This is the Afterglow, Monday morning Afterglow. It's raining. Would anyone like to say something uplifting? Very correct, Srila Prabhupada, very clear. Kshetra Kanch. I think we're ready to go out into the world and treat people with love on behalf of our Guru. Okay, we see Sage, Sky, they're getting ready. Thank you. Okay, after Narottam Nitai Prabhu, Sage, Sky, Annabelle, Isaiah, get ready. Narottam Nitai Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. No, I'm happy I found Krishna consciousness because it was very difficult for me when I was 9 or 10 years old. We had a family friend. She went to UPenn to study Sanskrit, and she couldn't write her dissertation. She was from India because she did, she studied Sanskrit in India. Then she came here to do her PhD. But she was like, they needed her to write her dissertation a specific way, and she was like, it was like against like the things that were ethical and something like that. I forget exactly what happened, but she described it. But so I'm just like happy that I found Krishna consciousness because it's like those people in power are just trying to control the narrative all the time, and it's really something. It's yeah. So just happy I came to Krishna consciousness because for me, I would have been a scholar like academically wise, but the way the system is set up, it's very against well, to do what's ethical, especially in the higher realms of the PhD world. Back to you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Narottam Nitai Prabhu. I feel the same way. I was once invited to a party, and I was a devotee at that time. And I said, I can't go. I have some appointment or something. And then the person, he was my coworker, he said, but don't you realize that this party will determine your further career? I was like, really? And I said something like I had like food poisoning, but to myself, I thought the person who is defining my further career is Krishna, not you. Who do you think you are? So, and then I quit that job, and I feel very happy that I found Srila Prabhupada and the devotees. And I would have been a president by now, if not for Krishna consciousness. But because it's sinful, I renounced it. I let it go. Bhima Prabhu would be my prime minister. He's got horses. He's got everything it takes. Okay, Sage, Sky, Annabelle, and Isaiah. Isaiah, get down from the wherever you are. Is that an armchair? Okay. Couch. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Sweet, very sweet and angelic.
Thank you very much for today, Hare Krishna.
Junior chanters ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All the wonderful, wonderful Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis on this call ki jai. Happy Monday. We love you. We need you every day.